Imagine you could own a tiny piece of the technology that might one day redefine how computers solve the hardest problems in science, medicine, finance, logistics, and artificial intelligence itself. That's the narrative anchoring Rigetti Computing, a full-stack quantum computing pioneer now trading on the Nasdaq under the symbol RGT and generating some of the most heated debates on Wall Street and in deep tech circles. Yes, this stock has been wild, swinging from deep lows to triple-digit moves, and as of right now, it's trading in the low $20 range, with severe volatility driving both fear and fascination among investors. Rigetti isn't a typical chipmaker or a software platform. It's building quantum processors, superconducting qubit systems that operate on physics far beyond conventional transistors, and which create what's called quantum classical hybrid computing. These systems don't just crunch numbers differently. They attempt to tap into quantum mechanical laws that allow computations to scale in ways classical computers can never match. Their full stack, from hardware to cloud-based access, through services like Amazon Breakit, aims to bring quantum computing within reach of real developers, researchers, and enterprises. But here's where the story gets layered. Quantum computing, as revolutionary as it might be, is still far from mainstream. On its own, a quantum processor rarely offers practical advantages for most real-world problems outside laboratories. What's changing, and what's driving the buzz around Rigetti, is hybrid integration. The notion that classical supercomputers and AI systems could one day offload ultra-specialized subtasks to quantum processors. That narrative has been gaining steam, especially with Rigetti's recent announcement that it supports NVIDIA's NVQLink, an open platform designed to integrate AI supercomputing with quantum units. NVIDIA isn't a fringe player. It's GPU's power, the current AI revolution, and this collaboration signals that the industry's biggest compute architects are thinking about quantum augmented and AI. From the standpoint of big-picture demand, strategic partnerships bolster Rigetti's credibility. A global Fortune 500 partner, Quanta Computer, committed to investments exceeding $100 million to advance Rigetti's superconducting quantum systems, focusing on scalable architectures that could find early use cases in simulation, optimization, and quantum-enhanced machine learning. There's also ongoing work with India's Center for Development of Advanced Computing under a Memorandum of Understanding, expanding Rigetti's research reach and potentially positioning it within emerging government technology initiatives. In parallel, the U.S. government has been making quantum computing part of its broader technology strategy, with regulatory and funding frameworks increasingly looking to reinforce American competitiveness in deep tech. That macro narrative has lifted sentiment around select quantum plays, and Rigetti has seen its stock become a volatile poster child for that trend, even as broader markets. But don't mistake thematic excitement for guaranteed execution. In its latest reported quarter, Rigetti posted modest revenue and deeper losses, indicative of early-stage tech economics, and the company is still heavily unprofitable. Analysts stress that these numbers, while typical for moonshot tech plays, underscore the long runway and substantial technical challenges ahead. Rigetti's balance sheet has been supported through equity offerings that bolstered cash reserves, but dilution concerns and consistent operating losses remain real factors investors must price in. The stock itself reflects this duality. On some days, it trades sharply lower amid profit-taking and macro headwinds. On others, it spikes on narrative-driven momentum. Analyst coverage is mixed, but notably leaning toward optimism in select corners of Wall Street, with average 12-month price targets significantly above current levels, and some firms assigning buy and outperform ratings based on long-term quantum tech prospects. These targets are not guarantees. They encapsulate expectations that the quantum class of compute might begin commercial inflection points between 2026 and 2030 if hardware performance, error correction, and hybrid integration improve materially. Halfway through today's breakdown, if you value calm, research-driven analysis focused on real signals instead of hype, consider subscribing. It helps keep deep dives like this coming, highlighting overlooked U.S. stock opportunities where long-term technology meets real financial ecosystems. Not salesy, just a simple way to support ongoing analysis that respects your time and intellect. Getting back to Rigetti's technology roadmap, the company has public targets to scale qubit counts well beyond current prototypes, aspiring to 150-plus qubit systems by late 2026. and even 1,000 plus qubit machines around 2027. Achieving these milestones would be remarkable, not just for Rigetti, but for the broader quantum computing sector, and would mark a significant step toward solving commercially relevant problems. However, every incremental advance in qubit performance or error suppression comes with steep engineering trade-offs, and competitors like IBM, Google, and alternative architectures are making parallel pushes that could reshape leaderboards in quantum advantage. At its core, Righetti's narrative is about bridging the gap between today's classical AI and tomorrow's quantum-assisted algorithms. Should that promise materialize, the payoff could dwarf typical semiconductor cycles, because quantum velocity fundamentally changes how specific classes of problems are approached. But the road from breakthrough to mainstream adoption is notoriously long and uncertain, and the stock's price moves reflect that tension. A year plus of gyrating price action has seen RGTI climb sharply from deep sub-teens to multi-year highs and then retract, making timing and risk management essential for anyone considering entering or adding to positions. Before we go further, it's important to be clear. Nothing in this narration is investment advice. It's a context-rich overview built on current market information, technology developments, and sector narratives. You should always perform your own due diligence or consult professional financial advice before making investment decisions, especially in speculative high-volatility sectors like quantum computing. Looking forward, the blend of commercial contracts, government interest, high-profile alliances, and speculative premium creates a complex tapestry for RGTI. If even a fraction of its roadmap successes are realized, it could meaningfully shift how advanced computing challenges are approached by industries that depend on simulation, optimization, and next-level artificial intelligence workflows. But such breakthroughs don't follow linear timetables, and investor expectations must be anchored in patience as much as possibility. In closing, Rigetti Computing stands at a crossroads of science and markets. It captures imagination with headline synergy between quantum physics and artificial intelligence, and it demands sober analysis because of its fundamental challenges and volatility. As the quantum era inches closer to practical relevance, RGTI is a marquee story, not because it's a sure bet, but because it encapsulates the tension between transformational tech and market expectations. Final disclaimer: this script is informational only and not a recommendation to buy or sell. Always consider your risk tolerance and investment horizon before acting, and use this narrative as a foundation for deeper research rather than a decision trigger.